Let's call to order the Board of Supervisors work session for Thursday, July 31st. We're meeting in the Supervisors Hearing Room in Melody Lane. Members of the board may attend in person or via Microsoft Teams. The order of deletion of any item on this agenda is subject to modification at the meeting, and any item listed is open for discussion. Please note that some attachments may be updated after the agenda is published, meaning presentation materials displayed at the board meeting may differ slightly from the attached versions. Members of the public may also attend this meeting via Microsoft Teams or the mobile app. Work sessions are a time for county staff to inform and discuss agenda items with the Board of Supervisors, and public comments will not be taken. We'll begin with a roll call. District 1.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Crosby is here.
All right. District 2.
Gomez is here.
All right. We have 2 supervisors present, 1 attending via Microsoft Teams. Will we begin? I guess we'll go to Ms. Gilman to kick us off for today's meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So to review the upcoming meetings for the week, we start on Tuesday, August 5th, with a special possible executive session meeting on a recent Court of Appeals decision regarding the A&P Ranch LTD v. Cochise County, and to get legal advice from our county attorney on that Court of Appeals decision and next steps. Library district then has their standard meeting at 10 a.m. No action items there.
So on that, though, we still have to do the truth and taxation hearing for them, right?
We will, when we already did that in July.
We didn't? We
did?
Mm-hmm. The truth and taxation hearing?
Mm-hmm.
People show up? Did we?
Yep, we had it. We opened the public hearing. We had a truth and taxation hearing after you approved the final budget.
And nobody was there.
Yeah.
I don't think I was there.
Yeah, we did it. It was kind of folded into the meeting, which is one way to do it.
Just noticed.
Okay.
So the August 18th is the tax rates and levies.
Okay.
Where you
maybe that's
that's what you're thinking.
Okay, for everything.
Mr. Chair, you may recall that one of the items that we did not have to do was a truth and taxation hearing for the county budget, since we
Or
weren't
the
going to
flood
raise
district.
the levy.
Right. Correct.
But we still. Flood control district does not have any action items. The jail district has.
So for the flood district, this is, if I have some questions, I'm going to go out and check some flooding that is occurring in Douglas. I can bring it up at that meeting.
You can talk to Jackie offline if you like.
Offline. Okay. She's not here, is she?
She's sitting right there.
Hey, Jackie. Okay, I thought the meeting was tomorrow at 9 o'clock at 23rd Street. Is it now at 11?
That's what Joe had set up. I can try to get hold of the person, see if he would like
No,
to meet.
I'll do 11.
Oh, okay.
It's easier for everyone. Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, I don't know if this is the right way to do, right time. Because of those V cuts, right, that are all kind of full of debris, which I've gotten so many calls on these county roads situation, they think that even if it's on private property and they give the county the okay to clear that out, is there a problem we can't do it because it's on private property? Even if they allow us, and just going to deal with the problem of flooding, which was really bad. It came up to their garage, almost in their garage. Is there not something we can do if they give us the...
Yeah, Joe, Jackie, and Joe Casey, Jackie, and Jason are working on something related to flood control for stuff like that. I don't know if that's going to be the same.
No, we can't go on private property because we would be on everybody's property, because that specific location, the water is flowing where it's supposed to be flowing. And I'll have maps showing that tomorrow. That a lot of people think that the water should stay in the road, in the roadside ditches, but the road is a road, not a drainage channel. And so the ditches fill up and then they will continue to flow downhill. And at that location, the water is flowing exactly how he says. And so then the county can't spend public funds to create a channel on that person's property to concentrate the flow when it goes across his property.
something above their property? Because, I mean, that's serious flooding that happened.
And we have that throughout the county. I do understand we get calls, especially this time of year. There is some people that's why we give out sandbags, is that they can get sandbags to try to protect it from flowing into their house or into their garage.
This was, I don't think sand.
It can be a foot deep. Yeah, if it's a foot of water, that can be considered normal. It's just that some of the older homes were built lower than a foot from adjacent grade. And so there is a lot of homes that do get flooded.
My question was up, further up, like by Saddle Gap, or somewhere in between. Can those gabions be built to retain the water up there? Because I gather that's going to be a whole problem with Bay Acres, which that is part of Bay Acres, right?
Right.
Is if we did more of that catching, the recharge or recharge up there, that would help because it all flows, I guess, from Saddle Gap, right?
Right,
And
it
it
does.
all comes down there right into that area.
We could do projects like that in flood control. That is possible.
Yeah,
But those are, you're talking about $1 million project, and we only have, about $1 million a year to spend. I mean, and it's throughout the county. But yes,
That definitely not looked at for a long time.
well, because the water's flowing how it's naturally supposed to flow.
So we'll talk about
Yeah, correct. I can talk tomorrow. And I'll have maps to show you and explain.
Okay. Thank you.
So the county jail district does have 3 action items on the next page if you turn the page. So the first one is to approve a budget for design and engineering and construction costs for the new jail project in a not to exceed amount of $130 million. This I placed on the agenda based on past discussions when the Banner owners rep occurred. The board was having a lot of discussion about that budget, and I think it would be good to have consensus through a vote before the publicity pamphlet comes
How
out.
about the contract for the,
They're still working on the terms of that contract, so we should have it by the second meeting in August. I think that's the
okay.
19th, August 19th meeting. That's what we're shooting for.
That's a regular board meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ms. Gilman, were there also IGAs with the jail district agenda?
Yeah, that's next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so number 4 and 5 on the jail district agenda are two, is an MOU for Arizona Complete Health related to detention medical. So I will have Megan Kennedy speak on that and the next item as well.
Were there costs involved with those MOUs to the county?
I'll ask Megan.
Good morning. Thank you for your time. Next week, whenever we bring this to you, I'll be discussing it. We'll be respectfully requesting approval of a memorandum of understanding between Arizona Complete Health and Cochise County Sheriff's Office. And the memorandum of understanding will be to put a data sharing agreement into effect with no cost exchange. There will be no cost exchange from us to Arizona Complete Health or vice versa. The MOU will allow for Arizona Complete Health and Cochise County Sheriff's Office to jointly establish systems and timely data exchange that's necessary for coordination and continuity of care whenever any of their clients are booked into Cochise County Jail, and also whenever those clients are released back into the community.
Does that
Thank
cover
you.
mental health? Mental health issues? and stuff?
Essentially, it's so Arizona Complete Health is the holder of the better part of Arizona's regional behavioral health authority. So the majority of Arizona Complete Health is behavioral health and mental health.
Okay, so then this would just be a good way to be keeping better statistics of what we're seeing going to the jail system, right?
Absolutely. And them being able to get, if they have a client that has an appointment scheduled for that week and they don't show up for that week, they'll have almost immediate access to understand, like, the reason this individual didn't show up for their appointment is because they were incarcerated. So what do we need to do in order to coordinate care? And also, whenever that individual is released from custody, they'll be able to know that so they can continue care almost immediately.
So it's not necessarily care they receive once they're in there, right?
No, it's just the coordination and continuity.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
That covers both those items.
Yeah, the data sharing agreement is the next item, and that's just what we discussed the MOU for, is for the exchange of that data. Questions?
Thank you.
No, sir.
Moving on to the regular meeting agenda. We have several consent items for minutes, precinct committeemen, additional road within Kings Ranch or Coronado located in Hereford to be added to the county maintained road system. If there's any questions on that. Jackie's. And then on the public hearings, we have ordered this a little different this time because we will have the public hearing on the continued establishment of the jail district. And then following that public hearing, we created an action item to adopt a resolution, a separate resolution ordering the continued establishment. That's there in anticipation of the findings of that first public hearing.
Okay, so this is whether or not we should file it. I've got so many things.
I know.
I'm trying to wrap my head on this
It's
thing.
procedurally kind of confusing.
Yes.
So the, under advice of legal counsel, we are having this public hearing to recognize the continued establishment of a jail district, because under a normal chain of events, if there was not a jail district, you would have, and the board previously did have a public hearing to establish it.
Right.
Now we've ended the tax, we're having another election, so the
Still there.
legal advice, it's still there. We just want to formalize that to make it a board decision, the Board of Supervisors decision to continue that.
Oh, and then we'll have discussion on that when we have that meeting?
Mhm. And then the public can come and share their thoughts on that as well.
Huh? Yes. You know, there's emails that are against this whole thing, right?
What's that?
Jail district.
Sure, we're working through it.
Yeah, he sent it, he just sent it out. Yeah, it's the same,
The same.
it's making the same argument.
This is a little legal, but I will call it
Mm.
a work session. Here's the way I see it. We're stating a fact that just is. There was a question about, the legitimacy of the election that wasn't really ever answered in the litigation because we settled.
Right.
So by default, we go back to the status quo ante, the state of affairs that existed before, which means the jail district is still a thing. It's not
Yeah.
been said, the court didn't say it didn't exist. We
Right.
didn't say it didn't exist in the settlement. So here we are.
Okay.
So if we have this to formalize it, I think that's good information for the public, but it's not like we would be changing anything. Is my
Okay.
understanding. Okay.
Okay, we're not changing anything, it's just allowing them to speak.
Well, they
Or
can
it might
talk.
be.
They- It's a general meeting. They're allowed to talk to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
agenda
no, I'm
items.
just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
But, okay.
All right. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense to you.
I got
Makes
it.
sense to me.
I'll go back to
Bye. Maybe for right now, it makes sense to me. Okay.
And then the public hearings will continue with a resolution on development services fee schedule. So that full fee schedule will be attached.
Okay, it'll be attached. So this is for like construction or, I mean, building permits and, no?
Yeah, this is specific to inspections of manufactured homes, mobile homes, and factory-built buildings, just specifically those
So it's just for manufactured and,
inspections of them,
and
inspections of
inspection?
them.
Oh, okay. Before they get installed or, I mean, what, I'm trying to understand what the,
We perform an inspection when they're installed
When
to
they're-
make sure they're correctly installed, basically.
okay, all right. So somebody buys one.
When we
a
review the
mobile or double
plans.
wide, they bring it in, they set it on blocks, they hurricane strap it down, they hook up the plumbing, and then they call you and, well, your team, and then they come out and inspect it.
Well, first we'd review the plans. They'd submit those to us. And then the inspector would go out to verify that they inspected, they correctly installed it per the plans.
Okay. And the fees are going to cover the cost of that individual's
Mhm.
effort to do that.
Yes, for us to review and inspect.
Okay. I'm cool with that. Thanks.
Okay.
Then to continue the action items of the Board of Supervisors, we did a few weeks ago have a work session on different memberships to different associations, and based on that, the clerk wanted to put these items up for the board to approve withdrawal from certain entities or organizations. The first being the Association of Defense Communities, and then the Coalition of Arizona and New Mexico Counties, and then terminating the IGA with the City of Sierra Vista and Cochise County for the Upper San Pedro Partnership. And then that would remove us from the Upper San Pedro Partnership.
And, well, we're still in the CCRN or?
Those are, yes, those don't have a fee. That's for this particularly staff time for coordination. This one was a $10,000 contribution.
Yeah, okay.
And then the final list on number 11 is the ones that you are staying. And you can approve that list or amend it. Number 12 is the capital facilities department is requesting a transfer from the county capital projects fund to the facility contingency fund for 2 different projects in 12 and 13. One is for a roof, improvements to the roofing on the building A, which is the health department over here in Bisbee, for $235,000, and the other is for a transfer of $317,000 for HVAC equipment over at the juvenile detention center. And Daryl, is here if you have any questions about this.
When was the Department of Health, when was that built?
Do you know when that was built, Daryl, in the 90s?
Yeah, the late 80s or early 90s. Yeah, it's an old,
Building A is?
That's amazing.
That's up here, is it somewhere?
yeah, it's the one that run around
At the
here.
same time as this whole complex, I believe.
Wow.
It's never been re-roofed. And we're actually even in the process of doing this. That building is so old that it was originally on swamp coolers. And they went through and removed all of the swamp coolers, but all the risers and all the plumbing and everything all still comes up. That's part of this roofing plan is we're going to get rid of all that and take it back down to where it's supposed to be.
What kind of roof you putting on it?
We're putting a PVC.
All right, cool, thanks.
You bet.
Yeah.
Elections has an item on the agenda. This is something we talked about in one of our meetings, I believe, having Election Assistance Commission come and voluntarily review our certifications, and Melissa's here to tell you more about this.
Sure.
Good morning.
Morning.
Mary Antonari, Vice Chair Crosby, Supervisor Gomez. So yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. Did you say good morning? Good morning. So this agreement is just a voluntary agreement, as our county administrator stated. They would actually come into our facilities field service program and really to go over our voting system configuration review. It confirms software is installed and running as certified. They will also look at our facility and procedural reviews to include physical security as well as our data security, and then our manufactured audits, and then provide a report to the county on their findings. There will be no cost obligation to the county, and then there will be a timeline that they're adhering to once you guys agree to enter this agreement.
What cabinet office does that fall under? Is it Justice Department?
Federal.
You know which federal?
Federal. Mhm. I know it's federal. I don't know what exactly under what office, but I can get that to you.
Justice
And it's
Department.
I think it's under Justice, and then
Thank you.
also it's
Thank
under
you.
the Help America Vote Act of 2002. So it was established.
Now I gotta do a little Googling. All right. All right, thank you. Yep.
And the county treasurer has a resolution directing, so the board would direct the county treasurer to remit funds collected from taxes levied in common school districts, not within a high school district. This goes back to some changes, I believe, in the law, and I don't know, is the treasurer online?
I think this is for these rural, small school districts that only have middle schools. And they're not a unified school district. They're in a different category.
So
And
Treasurer Traywick is on the line if you have questions.
no, I think I got it. Yeah.
And 16 and 17 is the county attorney, a grant for, from the Arizona Criminal Justice Commission for drug, gang, and violent crime control grant, as well as compensation, victim compensation grants.
All right, what's the first 155? Is that for somebody's salary?
Don't know.
I'll probably-
That's not a question.
Yeah, okay. All right.
We do fund, salaries for some of the these grants.
And 141K for victim reimbursement? That's kind of light, right?
Is that right?
Yeah,
I think it has been. I think it has gone down.
it's gone down too.
I think it does
God.
occasionally.
Who doles that out, Paul? Do you know? They break that up and make the determination how much they're going to compensate
I don't
somebody?
know. That was, it's Arizona.
Okay.
And that,
Oh, okay.
yeah, well,
Yeah, I was just curious how that gets broken out and who determines the victim is to be compensated in the first place and then how much they get. And that's it. And why doesn't the guy that victimized them pay it?
Right. Because they probably don't have any. Like move.
All right. Okay.
and that finishes up our meeting for the regular meeting.
All right. So I got called last night at 9 o'clock last night, and this is going to be interest to you. There was a wolf sighting next to the Catholic cemetery in
Percival.
Pertiville.
Pardon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a neon green collar on it. They got pictures of it too. So it's a collared wolf with a neon green collar, which is interesting.
He puts it, was it a child?
We just got our resolution, so now I guess, we'll see what happens.
Well, now the sheriff can.
That's right. He's supposed to dispatch the ranch patrol to investigate.
Well, I wonder where this one comes from, but,
They think it might be from Mexico.
right?
Yeah, they think it came across. Yeah.
Did they go already or are they doing that today? No idea. Yeah, no, I got, well,
That's right down, that's,
well, that's why we're on my family's buried.
that's
So,
right.
so,
But they think he's running the wash up to Whitewater Draw, which is a very target-rich environment for a wolf. That's where I'd go.
yeah, I guess he was not, he was pretty aggressive. Yes, he didn't.
I don't know. There's not a lot of cattle in Whitewater Draw, is there? Is there? I thought it was fenced off for. Oh, really? I thought it was for sandhill cranes and deer only. Oh, that's a small part of it. Oh, but they're. Oh, yeah, man. You have to get out there and keep an eye on them cows.
Yeah, I got all the emails because I guess he didn't have my phone number, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Just to be aware of it. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if you know or not.
Another subject on the legislative proposals for the County Supervisors Association, are we putting forth anything? Can we
Yeah.
talk about the open meeting law?
Yeah, we want to raise the limit on our budget in exchange for not doing special districts. Our
So
cap 5%.
to submit those are due August 6th. But
Yeah.
to connect it to our next meeting, we have CSA coming on August 5th as well, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Craig Sullivan will be here to give us an update on legislative action, brief of the session, and their staff can help us with some of those legislative proposals. So I think that'll be a good time to discuss it with him at that meeting.
Are you thinking of anything else besides that and maybe some problems with open meetings law? And,
Well, the open meeting laws, yeah, that's another one.
okay.
Yeah, we'd like to get a defined clarification in statute that as long as we're not executing an action that the three of us in the same room together does not. Yeah,
Especially we're out in the public and,
right.
I mean, yeah, all that stuff. Okay,
If you can think of anything else.
okay, well,
I want to also redo the HERF formula. That's another one I want to redo. Or allow the county to do a 1 cent gas tax for all gas stations in the county, either one.
So those would be great things to discuss
Yeah.
on the 5th.
Yeah.
They can
All right.
probably help us put together that proposal.
So we got to fix roads.
and oh boy. There was a rancher, Mr. Pope, who's prince, he's married to one of the princes. And he was so upset and I guess just hasn't had anyone to listen to him, but 50 minutes about all the stuff that is going on. I'm going to go visit him because he's also pretty involved in what's going on with the wildlife, U.S. Forest Service Arizona game. But we do have to seriously have this, because I heard a lot about the schedule. This guy was only there for 15 minutes. It's a big mess. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just constantly hearing. Are you hearing all the same problems about scheduling? That they're not there very long. That they're not maintaining the roads.
Oh, the Fish and Wildlife.
No, this is our county roads.
Oh,
Fixing and maintaining.
no, I haven't heard.
I'm not trying to make excuses for
It's the rainy season.
It's the rainy season. So I mean,
But I've heard a lot of it before.
they're trying to,
And we do have a county road work session.
Okay, great. What is that?
Yeah.
Next week. Oh, this was me. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you, Jackie.
I talked to him all the time.
Supervisor Gomez is scheduled for Monday on the work session. Or no, it's not a work session. It's just a meeting with you.
Oh, what time on the day? The 4th? I didn't see it on the schedule.
I think like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Or something.
Okay.
So they're not work session. We're just meeting with you before the work session to just go over some of the road stuff in your district.
And then as far as just having the public be able to talk about all their issues, or are we going to have a work session on that?
So I understand on the 19th, we'll have a work session with county staff where they're going to present information on roads that can be dropped from the list and other roads that can be added to the county maintained list.
Okay.
So they want to present that, and then we will schedule a meeting for the public to come and share their concerns after hearing that list.
And so that would be
That's August
10?
19th.
At 10?
So one other add on that maybe. So could we do an informational packet on, or it may already be on the website. I haven't looked at it, that can tell people the difference between private roads, county maintained roads, state roads. Is it on there? And then
Is it very friendly to find?
I'll check to see how friendly it is to find.
where they can look up to see if their road is a county maintained road or a private road, because I just did one last night. The guy's calling me about my road hasn't been graded. So I said, what road do you live on? And he calls me and tells me what road. I said, well, that's a private road. That's not a county. Well, the county should take care of it. And I'm like, we have to take care of all the other roads, and you bought your house on a private road. When you bought your house, that was part of the, you should have known that was a private road and it wasn't maintained by the county. So then he's asking me how you can get the road maintained. I said, well, that's a whole nother story. You could establish a road maintenance agreement with your wonderful neighbors, and you could hire somebody to come in and grade your road, and I'll chip in, or you could form a road district, where you all vote to tax yourselves to fix your roads. So you're welcome to do that too. But so we can't fix every road in the county. There's 1 million dirt roads in this county.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't realize, and I wish that's the thing we should put up. If you move to Cochise County,
Yeah.
but, you know, realize we should put it like, maybe that's legislation we should put somewhere on their real estate declaration, like, you know, if you're near an airport or military installation, it's got to
Or
be in the,
agricultural zone.
yeah, before you buy, just so you know, before you buy your house, you are on an unmaintained road in a rural part of the county. So you're not getting your road paved. You're not getting, you know, all these.
And if you're in a flood district,
Yeah, but I think we should.
The flood control district maps are on the website. This is a map that shows all the roads that are county maintained.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's something, how do we tell them in a real estate declaration through the realtor or during
They have-
purchase?
If they go through a title company, that is disclosed if they're in a FEMA mapped floodplain,
That they're in the flood district?
for a FEMA mapped floodplain, but not all flooding is in a FEMA mapped
You know how they
floodplain.
have- If you buy within like 5 miles of an airport, they put on your contract when you buy your home, be advised you're buying a house within 5 miles of an airport, you know, so they're aware.
I mean, there's just too many problems, whether it's flood control or they're in an agricultural zone or these roads. It's just too many issues. I guess they just don't, I guess there's ignorance. They don't know to look at those things. They're the first time buying in the desert. I don't know, but I think it'd be worthwhile because then we end up dealing with it.
I know I get all these calls from people that want their road fixed and they don't realize I didn't even realize, to be honest.
Yeah, there's,
Golden Rule, I thought that was a county maintained road up by me. Now I know Ladybug Lane, which is the road I live on. Yeah, was a private road, and I grade that road myself with my tractor and my grader. But I always thought, for the longest time, Golden Rule was a county maintained road, and it wasn't. You know, I didn't know until I found out by asking. You know,
yeah, there's about just over 1,400 miles of road that the county does maintain, and there's over 3,000 miles of road out there that the county doesn't. So there's,
right.
double the amount of roads out there that we don't have the funds to maintain. But the information is on the website for the county maintained roads. It's a specific map on the GIS. And then in the interactive map, it would have the FEMA mapped floodplains.
What I'm getting at though is when Sullivan comes in, if we like say, hey, how about some legislation to add to the real estate thing?
I think it's really worthwhile asking.
That you're purchasing property in a rural county and you may be buying property on a road you are buying property on a road that is not a county road. It will not be maintained. You have to be responsible for that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just so they're aware
Mm-hmm.
of that
I
aspect.
don't think the realtors tell me. I just don't think so.
No, I don't, you know, and then they get mad at us.
Exactly.
Representative Griffin.
Or, yeah, we'll talk to, yeah, she's a real estate agent. We'll talk to, Grunt Gowan is too. So we'll talk to both of those guys and see, because I'm not kidding, at least one a week.
Yeah.
You know, hey, how come you guys haven't fixed the road in front of my house? It's like, well, where do you live? And the guy calls me, I go out because now I know where to go because I talk to this poor guy all the time. So I go on the website, I say, oh, it just so happens that's not a county maintained road. That's a private road. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. You go to the website.
You would know the Pope, Mr. Pope, is he on a county maintained road?
I'd have to look that up, yes.
I think he said there was somebody out there. So.
I mean, the Krinskas,
Good morning.
Morning.
He's not directly off of a county maintained road, but the road that we recently got a request on, that road is county maintained.
What's the name of that road?
Sulphur Canyon is the email we got.
Okay.
And the guys did go out there and they did blade like 100 yards of it and the material was too wet, so they had to get off of that road for a couple days.
Yeah.
That happens a lot during monsoon season where our road graders are just too heavy and they start pushing
Makes
around
it
in the
bigger.
mud and they make the road worse than it is.
Yeah.
So that happens a lot.
So you guys will be going out there again?
They're out there today.
Oh, they're out there?
Yeah, I don't know if the road's still too wet, but I do know they went out there this morning to blade that and also State Line.
Okay.
I think those are the two roads that were mentioned in the email.
I mean, in the example, you know, with the poor guy whose wife broke her hip, right? And then with the sheriff's department, you know, it took the sheriff 30 minutes to get out here. It's like, well, yeah, you
Yeah.
bought a house
I don't know.
in a very rural part of the county on a road, that was probably why your house was so cheap or why you had such a great price and that's why I bought my house because the price was so great because nobody wants to drive an hour to work, so it's a nice remote spot.
Yes, and in that case, in that particular case, we have about 1.5 miles of county maintained road for that gentleman, and then there's another mile or so that he has to drive onto his house that is not county maintained.
Right. But I'm just saying what we're getting back to is some kind of statement on the real estate contract that advises them
Yes.
of this fact, because it's clear that a large population in the county is unaware, and like I said, myself included, that certain roads are not county roads, and they need to know that, if you call the sheriff and it takes him 30 minutes to get there because you got a crappy road, it's not our fault. It's not the sheriff's fault either,
One issue, you can't tell them that the county maintained roads, the road sign is white on green. It's a green road name sign. And if it's a blue road name sign, that's not a
Right.
county maintained road. Well, we'll have a map for you to show you that, yes. Right.
And then the other piece of it is municipal roads versus county roads too.
Yeah, and then just 23rd Street, half of the street is going to be annexed by Douglas and the other half is not, and I don't know how you do that. Because who then is going to be responsible? How do you?
Well, you got to draw lines.
To the center line. Usually it's to the center. It's like 7th Street in Sierra Vista. Part of 7th Street in Sierra Vista is county, and the rest of it, or just like for one block.
No sense whatsoever. Why don't they take you to the whole street? It should just be something. If you're going to take the street, not half of it. Because then we have to be responsible for something that Douglas does or doesn't do. I just don't know how you do it. I mean, maybe I'm not smart.
On Benson all the time. People say the roads, and I go, so that's a Benson road.
Yes.
Just call the mayor.
So can we talk about that too?
Well, yes.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting work session.
That's not August.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're going to do the public hearing
After.
or a couple days later, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so then you'll get everybody in here.
So the other work session, so Tuesday's a busy day. We have,
Next Tuesday.
next Tuesday is a very busy day. We have a lot of meetings. We have that CSA visit and then a lunch with CSA as well. And then after lunch, we come back and we have the Board of Supervisors work session on the accreditation status and legal compliance of the voting system.
Yeah.
So we have not
The new
heard
ones.
from any
Yeah.
state officials about their, you've not heard that.
Over the neck now.
On that.
Join us.
On the invite, yeah.
I do have a question on the aluminum plant. Did you get all the emails asking us to get involved, blah, 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 but that's not our preview, right?
No, it's the city.
It's just
Because it's within their boundary and their zoning, and they control. And then ADEQ is responsible. And then people don't understand that there is a regulatory process, that if the company complies with the regulatory process, they have to be given the permit. There isn't a political decision whether or not to award the permit or not, and there's a lot of confusion there. People think that if they just cry to ADEQ, that they can convince ADEQ not to issue the permit, but they have to if they comply with all the regulation and whatnot. So that's...
I understand we can't get involved in the municipality's business, whether we agree with it or not.
So
Correct.
I don't know if you guys noticed, the unemployment rate in the county went up another 0.5 point. So now we have more unemployment in this county, and we're having a company that's coming in and wants to bring 70 to 90 jobs into this county that aren't in Sierra Vista, right? So we need the jobs. I mean that's technically a 10% increase because it went from 5 to 5.5%. So that's a 10% increase in unemployment. Technically, if you want to play with the numbers, but it's going the wrong way. right now, especially with the economy starting to pick up again.
Yeah, it is.
We should see unemployment going down, but we saw employment last quarter in this county go up. So I'm not standing in the way of anybody bringing a business into Cochise County.
And with that, can I state about the Douglas Port of Entry? I mean, I don't know what happened after the conversation. Do we have a work session on that as far as economic
So
development?
we can put this under number 2, discussion and possible direction to staff on proposed meetings and scheduling an agenda item. So
Okay.
we'll talk about it here.
On Tuesday, usually?
No,
On August the 4th.
right now, because that's a second agenda.
Okay.
So
good. Somebody had
you're good. I'm just wanting to clarify for everybody why we're moving on from meetings for the week.
Right.
And we're going to talk about proposed meetings. The Supervisor Gomez and I had a conference call with a potential person interested in doing an economic development roadmap for us. And so I'm awaiting a quote and proposal from that individual. And then that might be something we bring to the board for a future discussion.
Yeah, we really don't have any kind of roadmap for how to develop this. And I
It's a good
did
idea.
economic one, like in quarter 191, and she wants to even do one late that's even more encompassing, which is all of Cochise County, that how it would, to get Wilcox and all that. I think we have to, she wants to be, if I understood right, she wants to do all Cochise County first, but I think we have to start because we're right now that Douglas Port of Entry is really moving quickly. And what I want to get is, and she admitted, there's a culture of just the same people controlling access in both Sonora and Douglas. So I'm going to start getting different stakeholders to be. So I asked Report McMoran to be on this Port Authority board, as well as Ardent. I think you met with those guys one time. And then going into and meeting with the cattlemen in Hermosillo, some of the mining companies, and those who are doing work in semiconductor fields to start coming on part of that, because there's been 2 guys, I know them both, very nice people, but it's just them for the past 3 decades, and that what I think is holding it up. So I'm going to go forth with that, and I disagreed with her at one point. We have to start putting an authority board, ASAP. So I'm going to talk to Keith about, some kind of guidelines and just start doing that. So by the time all this other stuff comes, I'll at least have stakeholders ready to go.
That are interested.
Yeah, that are, and going to be invested in Velcro, Levalor, a couple of maquiladoras. There's a new Mezcal distillery. I'm sure they want some out import in Mezcal.
Sure.
Bacanora, something like that, which is very good. Anyway, so that's what I like to do. And then I think we have to look at the economic corridor.
I agree.
So that'll be a future meeting and possible agenda item once I have more information.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. And Mr. Crosby, you got anything you want to add?
Certainly.
Future meetings?
With
work
regard to the meeting that's coming up on the 5th, I talked to Ms. Gilman this morning about that, and I was wondering what role is Mr. Casey going to have with the meeting on the 5th that has to do with voting system test labs, and Mr. Paul Rice's presentation. Is Mr. Casey also going to have a presentation?
He has been working on some information that the board requested in one of our work sessions for more of a flow chart, process chart for the credentialing process. So he's been working to get that put into a visual that's easier to understand because there's a lot of technical information. So he's trying to make that more user-friendly, and he'll have that to share with the board.
Okay. I think I also have a of insight with regard to Madam Gomez's questions and concerns about who should pay for roads. It is, to my knowledge and experience, strictly a matter of following the money. For instance, with the street is Coronado, and now there is a development to the west side of the Coronado Road at Busby where they're building a bunch of houses. So forever, that piece of Coronado was half as wide as it is now until some developer came along and said, I want to build a bunch of houses to the west side of Coronado. And then the builder was responsible for doubling the width of the road there at Coronado. So a lot of that, who is responsible for building the road, has to do with development fees and agreements that come along. So prior to that development, that was a piece of state land. So it's just a matter of who has the money, who's responsible for that piece of the intersection or whatever it might be. The same thing held true with the intersection of Foothills and 92, which was split every which way. You got the county complex on one corner, and a county island on the other corner, and a state highway going through both of them. And it was probably 15 or 20 years ago when the planning and zoning department was trying to figure out how to make that intersection better. And it took until they rebuilt and repaved that whole highway before they fixed the things like the curbs and dirt and weeds and stuff not going into the intersection. So it is a battle. I don't know if that's any help or not, but just to offer some insight there.
Thanks.
Our development services person last.
Yeah.
Jackie might know. So do we now require for these subdivisions, do we get a bond onto them? Because if they go bankrupt or whatever, they just leave the place half built and the road's all like we have out at Baba Kamari, right? There's that
We
issue
have-
out there.
If it's a platted subdivision, a legally platted subdivision, they have assurance agreement, and they don't get lots released until the improvement is done. That's like what's on the consent agenda for Tuesday's meeting is Kings Ranch. That road is now paved. Once we accept it, then those lots can be released. The Baba Kamari was not a platted subdivision. It was a record of survey. So you can break up property into 36-acre lots as much as you want. So then it's recorded with easements on a 36-acre lot, and then that's the unregulated development that happens because someone buys a 36-acre lot, they'll break it into 2 or to 3 12-acre lots. Those people will then break it down to 4-acre because most of the county is RU4. And that's how you get 4-acre subdivisions that are not regulated, and there's no control the county has when those are put in on the roads. Those are not public roads that the county regulates on how they're constructed.
Thank you, Ms. Watkins.
Second, animal control,
Animal control, animal shelters.
animal shelter.
There's a lot of but
Feral.
feral dogs in the Elfrida McNeil area as well. And we're going to discuss, how we can make sure that people are getting tagged so they get their vaccinations. And also about the animal, because I guess Benson closed, I saw that. Benson closed temporarily.
Right?
Temporarily until further notice.
Oh.
They're doing some, I think, cleanup.
And we pay, right? I mean,
We pay upon use, so
we pay on use.
they have to bill us and they haven't.
And you just we did the one with Douglas, right?
I'm working on the IGA with Douglas and with the Sheriff's Department. It's a collaborative effort, so I can report more on that.
So I just want to let the other board members know that we're taking that on, and this will be our third meeting.
We are,
And we're getting places and hopefully pretty quickly. So
I want to stress that the Sheriff's Office Animal Control
will be there.
Lieutenant Gijanto is part of the group.
Okay.
So it's important to include the Sheriff's Office in this.
Absolutely. They have to be because they're part of it.
Yep.
So I just want to let the board members know we're doing that. And the public. Because I think at some point, I have to get the public involved. As part of what we're going to do with all the packs of dogs that are running around, and it's another issue.
I will remain silent.
I know you will. Well, you said someone has to do it, and I'm glad to do it because I used to do it. And they're very passionate people, and it's not very strong, will people to get something done, so we'll get it done. That's all I have.
And we do have an animal shelter work session later in August
You do?
to brief
Okay.
the board fully
Okay,
on
good.
what we've been working on.
Okay, good.
All right. That's all we got, Mr. Chair.
All right. Nothing else from you, Ms. Gilman?
No, that's it.
Mr. Crosby, any last minute things to add?
I'll just thank Ms. Gilman for her information. We talked for 30 minutes or so this morning about several of these issues already, and I just wish everybody a great weekend.
You too.
Good.
Thursday.
All right. Well, with that, let's call it a day. We will adjourn.